Howdy, hey, Internet. So I am on day 3 of my cruise. This is our last sea day. Just a little review, I guess, on the cruise and how it's been going. So I checked in, 3 days ago on Saturday, or 2 days ago. So this is my third day, yeah. So Saturday, it was day 1. Got on in Quebec City, Quebec. It was raining pretty good. Did get to see a few things which you'll see on here or have seen. And got to the pier. After I took my rental car back, I got an Uber and came back out to the pier, Pier 30, which is not the nicer one and the more complicated one to get to. But fortunately, this Uber driver had been shuttling people from the airport to the cruise port all morning, so he kind of knew. He knew exactly where to go and how that was working, so that was good for me. So I get to the pier, drop off my luggage. That probably was the thing that took the longest out of the whole check-in process, was just getting someone to grab my luggage. And that's on the cruise line, that's on the port. That's the Port of Quebec. They're the ones who have the porters that the cruise line hires. So then I walk in to the terminal. They point me a certain way, and so okay, we need to see your passport. So I dig my passport out, show it to them. Okay, great. Go through security. So went through security. Nobody in line. Absolutely nobody. I think they were thrilled just to have something to do for a couple of seconds. They scanned my stuff. That was it. It went rather smoothly. And then went through to another area where somebody checked to see if you had your boarding pass. So I had to dig that out because I couldn't get the app to. I was in a hurry, and I was kind of fumbling around with it. I finally said, screw it, I'm going to grab the paper copy. And I said, okay, you're good. Go ahead and go to the next step, which was just walking a little bit in this line. Oh yeah, because before I even got to the, oh no, they sent me into where the ticketing was, or the check-in was, and I was greeted by somebody from the cruise line saying, okay, are you Club Orange or have one of these other priorities, and the frequent cruisers and things? And I said, no. She said, okay, this is your line, but and she looks, and there's no line anyway, so it really doesn't matter. Just go on up. So I did. Then they have these little kiosk things, but there's somebody there who operates it. And so they grab your passport, they scan it, and that had one hiccup. It kept reading my middle name incorrectly. My middle name starts with a B as in boy, and theirs was starting with R as in Robert. And I thought, no, that's not right. It's got to be, it's the other. So they scanned it again, and it worked. Then they take your picture with this thing, and okay, go on board. So you walk up the walkway, and you step on board ship. And there were a couple of people there who were, I'm assuming, from security. And they took your boarding pass, they scanned it, and the picture is already uploaded to their system, so they look at that, make sure, okay, you are that ugly. And then, okay, there you go. So then I went to my room, or I went over to the elevators. Somebody in the cruise line was, okay, where are you going? And they showed me they looked at my boarding pass. Okay, you're in 1093. I said, yes, downstairs. Said, oh, you know exactly where you're going. I said, I do, because I looked at the maps. I knew where I was supposed to go. Because I prep for all this kind of stuff. So I went over and I waited for the elevator. Elevator took a little bit of time, probably 3 minutes maybe. And the reason it takes that long on embarkation day is because they've got most of the elevators blocked off, because that's where they're hauling your luggage from, or up to your rooms. So I go right down to my room. There's my keys in by the door. I grab that, I come in, I film my little intro, and I hadn't been in here but a few minutes, and then the cabin steward, came in and introduced himself and welcomed me, and I got the bed corrected because they had it set up wrong. They said I had it set up for one double. I wanted two singles because you see here, the two singles, you get that walkway right in between them and the windows. So it actually gives you a little more room, usable unit room, and you can go right up close to the window there, instead of crawling all across the bed. So it's more comfortable for the day-to-day stuff. And then I went out. I was going to go upstairs to the buffet and get some lunch because it was about 2:30. And while I'm waiting, they got luggage coming in down the halls, and they're knocking on doors. And hold on, somebody at my door now. Speaking of which, I had to pause. I had the cabin steward and his partner in cleaning come in and do my room. It's I think close to 7 o'clock Atlantic Daylight Time. Anyway, so getting on the ship was, I was at the luggage, that's right. So I went up to get my lunch. I came back, and not only was my luggage here, they had already put it in my room. So, wow, the service has been fantastic on this. It's the first time I've gone on Holland America, and so far so good. I've only had a couple minor issues, and I mean tiny things. There was the mix-up on the bed, but that was no big deal. They got that fixed, and I knew they would. That wasn't a big deal. And even if they didn't, okay, whatever, I can live with it. There's a bathtub in my bathroom, and my bathtub at home is not very deep, and it's not very wide, so it doesn't really hold a lot of water, and I can't get in and out of that sucker and actually take a bath. I mean, I can fill it up, and it maybe comes up to my side, is about it. And I love taking a bath. So, in my hotel in Quebec, I did take a nice bath. It was a big tub there. This one's big. It's deep. It's not long, but it's wide and it's deep, and I can actually fit in there, and get enough of me in there to have a nice bath. Problem was the drain plug would not stay down. It was one of those ones you push down, and it would not stay down. In fact, it just came right out when I pulled on it, and I didn't break it. It was like it was completely just loose from whatever. And so I ended up doing a workaround by, taking a washcloth and stuffing it along that, and there was enough pressure from the water to hold it down on there, and so I was able to take a decent bath last night. So that's one. I really have to think about some of the others. I was thinking about this earlier. Like, okay, what else was there? Yeah, that's kind of really the biggest one. I mean, everything else has just been super minor, but the service here has been fantastic. I have not eaten in the dining room yet. I don't know if I will. Honestly, the buffet has been pretty good, and they're serving most of the same stuff they serve in the dining room. In fact, our first night, Saturday, when we boarded, dinner, I think they had more stuff at the buffet than they did at the dining room that was maybe supposed to be in the dining room. They were advertising a steak night in the buffet. Well, they had prime rib. They didn't have prime rib downstairs. They had some of the other steak, but they didn't have prime rib. And I remember I had prime rib, and I had, oh gosh, what else did I have? I had some ribs. I had some barbecue ribs, which were excellent. And I also had smoked salmon chowder. Oh, I love smoked salmon. I just love it, and that was a winner for me. So I really haven't had much in the way of bad food there. I have been having, and this is kind of an ongoing health issue. I've had some diarrhea issues. I know, you tell me about that on this blog. And I had a bit of a bout of it yesterday and today, and it's not, I didn't catch anything. This has been an ongoing thing for over a year. My doctors and I have been trying to work and figure out what it is. Right now we're eliminating medications that I'm on. So, but I think this might have been very, very tasty berry compote that I had on my pancakes the last 2 days. So I'm gonna not have that tomorrow. But it's very hard not to, because the one thing about this, I'll say, with their breakfast is, well, this is the first cruise line I've seen where you can actually order hot breakfast and room service, unless you have one of the fancy cabins or high status. And they don't charge extra for it. Now, I have not done that because I like to go up to the buffet and then kind of peruse what might look good and sound good. So this morning I had pancakes and I had some bacon, and it was quite good. And the pancakes, they have a station for the pancakes. They do pancakes, crepes, and waffles. And unlike other cruise ships I've been on, where they have them under the, in the pan already cooked, and they're under the hot lights and the heat lamps, and they dry out real quick. And then a lot of times they also just get cold, even though they're under the heat lamp. These guys, they cook it all to order, and they're good. They're really good. So that's where the berry compote came in. They have a strawberry one and another one I think was pear or something. I don't know. So I got to pass on that tomorrow. But the food's been good. What is confusing is a nice thing, but it's confusing. When you go to the buffet, you're looking for a table, empty table to sit at, and so you're expecting to see basically nothing but maybe their, the salt and pepper shakers, and whatever promotional signs, cards they've got like at restaurants, on the table. Well, it's confusing because they will have the silverware. In fact, I was looking for silverware, and that's when it dawned on me that this is what happens. Is they had the silverware wrapped up in the napkins, and then they have a glass for water, and then at breakfast they have a cup for coffee or tea. And they will come around and ask you, would you like some water? Would you like some coffee? Or would you like some tea? And then they will bring it to you. You don't have to go over and get it. You can if you want. In the morning, they even offer juice, and they'll come over with refills with like orange juice or their iced tea or the lemonade during the day, or water. So I mean, it's been really, really fantastic. I haven't had any issues with this at all. I mean, seriously, the bathtub is probably the worst thing. The entertainment system has been great. Not many TV channels, I will say that. That's maybe a downside. One sports channel, that's ESPN, and it hasn't been coming in very well. Their satellite's not working well. They've got several news channels, and then just a couple of other like a travel channel and HGTV and Food Network, and couple of the channels that show reruns of stuff. But the best part is their movies on demand. They got, I think it showed 428 movies on there. I mean, they're not brand new release things. They're not ones that just came out, out on DVD or digital yet. There's going to be some older ones. They got classics. They've got, what are officially classics, then classics, which would be like my age group when they came out when I was a kid, or in college or something. And they've got some newer ones. And I've seen most of the decent ones, but there's a few I hadn't seen. And you know what? Why not? I got nothing better to do on a sea day. So I've watched quite a few movies. They have a very good sea tracker, I guess it is. Ship tracker. Kind of like the flight tracker on an airplane. Which, by the way, American did not have on when I was flying to get here. People love that thing, guys. Anyway, they have that here. So I've been watching that a little bit too. They need music with it though. That's the only thing I would say of that. They have a bow camera and an aft camera. The aft camera, I think, it needs to be focused, needs to be refocused and maybe adjusted a little bit. But on that one, they have music. The bow camera, they don't. But if there's any of the announcements that are made outside of the cabin, you can hear them on that. So that's kind of nice. For that. But then they've got some some audiobooks, which not very many, from Audible, and they've got some music playlists and such on there. So there's a lot of stuff to watch, and it's kind of nice to have that. I haven't gone to the shows. I never go to the shows. I hate the shows because I hate musicals, and I hate a lot of the comedians that come on or all this other stuff. So I don't do any of that. And they don't seem to have a lot of those kinds of things like they do on some of the others major productions. This could be because this is a smaller ship. But everything has been fantastic. The 2 nights that we've been on the ship, I've gone out and taken pictures and some GoPro footage. And one thing I noticed they have out there is out on the back pool deck. Well, you have it at the front pool deck, which is covered. Or actually, it's midship, but they have a pool deck at the aft with a nice platform to look at stuff. But they also have, not only have beach towels or those pool towels, but they also have blankets. Nice blankets that you can use. And last night it was probably around 42, 43 Fahrenheit. Mostly cloudy, but the sunset was just the most beautiful sunset I've ever seen. I think I got all that good. Hopefully it's on good footage when I review it for this, and I'll show that. It's the best sunset I've ever seen. It was just fantastic. But there were people out there that were either standing there or were sitting in some of the lounge chairs or something, and they had one of those blankets on, keeping warm. So that was nice. So I really can't say anything bad about this experience so far. Now tomorrow will be a test because it'll be a first disembarkation at a port. We're heading into Charlottetown tomorrow. We're supposed to be there, I think, at 7 a.m. I have a car rental set up there. I'll have to walk to get that. I don't think they open until 8:30. I got to check once we get back into some Wi-Fi and cell service. We're away from shore right now quite a bit. We're north of Prince Edward Island, and by a long ways, in the Gulf of St. Lawrence. So, but we're supposed to be in Charlottetown tomorrow. I'm looking forward to that, and I think a lot of us are looking forward to getting off the ship. I hate sea days because I just get bored. I've been to the casino I don't know how many times. I think I've lost a grand total of about $5 because I don't stay and play long. It's like, oh, this is boring. Forget it. And I'm losing. Forget it. I don't do a lot of that kind of stuff. So that's kind of it for this so far. I'm not going to do... I thought about doing a tour of the ship and stuff, but there are a lot of other people out there that have done that, and I don't think that's really necessary to do it. And they have their own take on things. But there's a lot of nice places to just sit and lounge here, away from your cabin. I'm sitting on the sofa in my cabin right now. I'm doing this, and I haven't had any problems with noise. A few times in the night I'll hear somebody talking as they walk by, but very, very little. I haven't heard anything, not waking me up or anything. And like I said, it's been a pretty good cruise for last couple of nights. This will be the 3rd night, and then we'll see. Like I said, disembarkation. The last cruise I was on MSC, and they handled that horribly. I mean, horribly. I almost punched a lady. The last one I was at, I almost punched her. Oh gosh, that was a very scary situation that I was in. Maybe someday I'll go into that, but yeah, they did not handle things very well, and others are kind of hit and miss. We'll see what happens when we get off tomorrow. And they've already got us information on disembarking the ship when the cruise is over. They've already got that for us. Usually we don't get that till the day before, the night before. I already have the information. I guess they want us off the quick. No, they're actually very organized with it, and most everything that I've seen them do has been very organized and very well done. In fact, today they had what they call Cake Me Away up in the buffet at lunchtime. I guess they do this once during a cruise, and they've got maybe 20 different cakes that you can go get a piece of. I had two different pieces. I had one that was supposed to be a salted caramel that was just a chocolate cake. It was, it was good chocolate cake, but it wasn't what I wanted. And then there was carrot cake, which I love, and that was quite good. I haven't gone hungry. I have not gone hungry. I even found popcorn this afternoon at one of the bars as I was wandering around. Nice box of popcorn. So anyway, well, that'll be it for this one. We'll get some more done here and see you down the road. So here we are on day 5. Yeah, and this is the first towel animal I've had. I was going to say that, well, they don't do those here, but apparently they do. This is an elephant, I believe. You can get something like this with an orange towel and stuff you can buy down in the gift shop. But I finally got a towel animal. Wow.